And we're back. This is round 2 tonight. Joey's Wine Rack. We're here, and well, you kind of sort of are, a little bit. Kind of, maybe. So, I said we're going to do 2. This is our second. This one is Leoness Cellars. Actually, my friend Alyssa turned me on to them. They are in Temecula, California, so just north of San Diego, which pretty much anything in California is north of San Diego, right?
Pretty much.
Pert near everything. We decided, well, okay, I decided we were going to do this because Mr. Zach likes red. I love red. And today, September 3rd, is International Cabernet Day. So that's Cabernet Sauvignon, by the way. So this is a Cabernet. Actually, it is labeled a Cabernet. It's actually a blend. So it's going to be predominantly Cabernet Sauvignon. Kind of just a rule of thumb when it comes to blends. If it's mostly something, in this case mostly Cabernet, so it's at least, in this case I think it's about 75% Cabernet grape, then they can call it Cabernet. Could be a little bit higher, I apologize, I don't know. So we got Cabernet, we have notes, Cabernet Franc, Merlot, and Petit Verdot. So this should be fantastic. I actually generally like blends better than, you know, a Cab or a Merlot or whatever. So some of the stuff that I end up buying and I've featured on the show in the past has been blended. So we're going to taste this, see what it's like. So I actually did taste this, so I keep saying so, I apologize. So back in April, the boys and I went out to San Diego. I had work, spent a week and rented a car. Went up to Temecula. Okay, it wasn't just a car. Camaro convertible. No, I'm such a little kid. It was so much fun. Anyway, rented a car, drove up, hung out, went to Leoness Cellars. They were fantastic. It was really great. Again, it was kind of, I alluded to it in some other shows, but specifically the one just before this. I hate to go into any place and be kind of ignored or have to make the first step. Well, stuff. They were fantastic. Hung out at their tasting room, tasted a lot of different things. You know, went through the whole bit. I actually joined up to their wine club too, and this is one of them. So this is a. Can you see? No. It's 2013 Leoness Cellars Cabernet Sauvignon. And it's Temecula Valley. Temecula Valley, I know, easy for me to say. So we're going to get our corkscrew out, our wine knife actually, and seal for your protection. We'll have the janitor clean that up. So what do we do first? Move that out of the way so we don't mess it up. And look, this is Joey's Wine Rack. Yay! So got a little wine knife on it, and got a little ridge here. This is yours now.
Oh yeah.
So do this, and remember, I used to be a waiter, so I used to be a professional, and so in this case we're going to show it to Zach. So make sure when you're doing all this stuff, you can talk or not, kind of depends on how comfortable you are, but make sure that you have the label facing your client or your whomever orders it. So do that. Set it down for just a second because I need 2 hands to do this part. Open it up. Double pull. So there's one, and there's a second one. I've got another one that actually has kind of a hinge on it, which is kind of cool, but not as cool as this one because it says Joey's Wine Rack. I'm a dork. But it's my show, so. So again, hold like this, and it helps actually that I'm left-handed. Helps me anyway. So do this. And the whole time, you know, so what do you think of the weather? Or you like to come back to Colorado? Blah, 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 blah. So the first one, so that first knuckle, first there, hold up a little bit. And a lot of times you can just do it once. And then I do this because it makes it sound a lot better. You don't pop and all that sort of stuff. So far so good. And then you pull that off. And then you always present the cork. It used to be back in the day you wanted to make sure that, you smell it and all that sort of stuff. In theory, that if you smell like wet cardboard and stuff like that, that means it's actually not any good, or it's corked. Realistically, it's just for show. But typically, if you're good enough, you can see it. Okay, this says Leoness, right? So I like to look at that and go, okay, I might sniff it, but I'm going to set it down right in front of Zach with the name facing him, so that he can kind of do his thing. And while he's doing his thing, I forgot something else. I'll be right back. So, Leoness Cellars is what you ordered, right?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, it smells like a cork.
It smells like a cork.
So this is actually in my collection. And I've got a custom wine rack because I make custom wine racks. Seems like another commercial. But this was on display, so I got a wine rack that holds about 5 cases, just in case we get snowed in. I got enough to last me a day or two.
For the snowpocalypse.
Snowpocalypse, exactly. And there are 5 or 6 on top that are kind of set up like this, so I'll let other people pick whatever they want. I go, you can have anything except the top row. Well, tonight, top row!
Woohoo!
You guys are special like that.
Special.
So, what I got in my hand that's been upside down as I've been talking, whoops. Joey's wine rack, waha! It's actually called a drop stop. So the original ones I got didn't have anything, they all look like this on both sides. So custom ones, my logo. Chriso, thank you for the logo, it's fantastic. I got the original ones from my Swedish family, but the product actually is from Denmark. And then I got a Denmarkian kid after that. Okay, kid, sorry name. So, they're flexible. What is the drop stop? It stops drops, just like it says. So you roll it up like this, stick that in there, like so. Genius, or genius as you. So again, because I used to be a waiter back in the day, you want to make sure that you still have the label facing your client, customer, and so you can hear this, except for everybody else in the neighborhood. Joey's Wine Rack Studios needs to move to a different neighborhood. Anyway, hopefully you can see that. Let's actually do this for presentation value. See, maybe you can see it. Excellent color. And we're not going to fill up the whole glass because we want to make sure that Zach has a chance to taste it first. So, Mr. Zach. Yummy noises.
Very tasty.
Very tasty, excellent. So what we end up doing, now we could finish filling up Zach's glass, but we have a lady present. So we're gonna go to the lady next. Can you tell me when? Because I know you've got other stuff going on. She doesn't like red yet. Now, in a minute, you're going to hear me give him a little bit of grief.
Ooh.
So, again, if I'm the waiter and I've served everybody, I'm going to set this down close to Zach, so it's still got the label there. So, obviously, they're not doing anything wrong because there's no absolute And what did we hear? As in,
Wow.
wow, see? Joey does not lie.
He doesn't.
I do not serve crap in my house or my studio because why would I want to do that? That's just, ugh. So also, kind of along the same lines, if we have a chance, we might taste something too, food-wise. But I'm kind of I got it indirectly. So Julia Childs, way back in the day, said you should never cook with a wine you wouldn't drink. And Kat, the amazing lady that I used to work with was a Julia Childs fan. And I said, oh yeah, why would you want to cook with something that you wouldn't drink? And if you've ever bought a bottle of cooking wine in the store, don't do it. It's horrible because they add a lot of sodium to it. And in general, a lot of people cook with way too much salt anyway. Salt, sodium. I actually don't cook with hardly any. And then you can add to it later on if you want. I'm doing like garlic and herbs and stuff like that. But anyway, so I've got this other marinade. It's a Cabernet marinade. I just didn't use this bottle. Still a very good bottle, but not this bottle. So when I taste, again, I didn't do anything wrong. Just I do it a little different. So I swirl, not squirrel. That's weird. Swirl, and notice that we've got different glasses this time. These are the typical red wine glasses, so they got a nice big bowl. This is something that I learned from being a waiter, and it always bugs the crap out of me when I'm served at a restaurant. And when it's your glass, you can hold it however you want. But when the waiter or waitress grabs my glass like this and puts big old fat fingerprints on it and then puts it in front of me, I'm already upset. It's got a nice stem. So I grab it like this. And occasionally I'll do this if I'm handing it to somebody. But anyway, so swirl it. It helps open it up. Oh, that smells amazing. So what did we smell? And while I'm talking, I'll actually fill up the glass a little bit. Thank you. Sorry. Well,
Okay for right now.
so when you smell it, what do you smell? I'm gonna go to Zach first.
It smells like a red. You can definitely tell that.
Mm-hmm.
If you were blindfolded and you smelled that, you would definitely say this is a red wine.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a little bit stronger odor than, not odor, but stronger smell than others.
Mm-hmm.
So it's good that way. But it doesn't transfer into the taste. It's not a strong taste. So I like that.
And I haven't tasted it yet, so, well, I haven't tasted it here yet. I tasted it in Temecula, and I liked it well enough that I bought it, so what do you smell?
Wine.
Okay?
Oh my God.
And that's okay. Never, ever, ever feel, both of y'all and you out there, never ever feel bad about not, coming up with the stuff that I may taste. And I guarantee you, when I was tasting with Kat, she would rattle off a list of things that she smelled and the taste and stuff like that. And I was just learning at the time, and I learned a fantastic amount of stuff. Actually, come in just a little bit. There you go. Sorry. But I get a lot of my knowledge, if you want to call it that. Frankly, I read labels. I go out to their website. I taste, and so when I smell this, part of it's from what I've read, but part of it is definitely this big schnoz. And to be fair, I have my mother's nose, my dad's nose. A little bit of vanilla. Definitely oak. As I said, I would read labels and stuff. Spent about 21 months in French and American oak, and at least how it appeared, they were kind of in both. So oftentimes when you get to that point when you start tasting a lot of stuff that's very oaky, American oak and French oak taste different. They have a different taste to it, which is kind of weird. But that's the way it is. Some people love big oaky, and we were actually, during the break, we were talking about Chardonnays. I am not a oaky Chardonnay fan. You're talking about one that we're going to taste at some point in the future. I love unoaked. Back to our friends, they age in stainless steel, so there's no oak taste to it. So I haven't tasted this yet. I'm going to shut up. Oh yeah, this is fantastic. So what did I do? I sucked in a little bit of air, because again, it helps open it up a little bit more. So as I've been talking, as I opened up a little bit anyway, because I didn't pour that much. But when you taste it, when you suck in the additional air, then you taste different parts of your tongue. Taste different tastes. How many times can I say taste in one sentence? So again, you're tasting maybe a little bit of vanilla that I smell. Definitely tastes oak, right? And because this is a blend, so we talked about is predominantly Cabernet Sauvignon, Cabernet Franc, which is a little bit softer, a little bit of Merlot, and a little bit of Petit Verdot. So it takes, frankly, sometimes some of the Cabernets I've tasted are a little harsh. I find Merlot is not my favorite either, but when you blend those two together and then you add the other pieces to it, it has this really awesome kind of round taste to it. So it's not like, okay, there you go.
It was like silky in my mouth.
Silky, see? So here's to you all. Cheers, salud. And remember, wherever you are, it's 1 o'clock. Yes, I actually bought these specifically for an occasion. Because I'm a dork. So, not so bad, right?
Yeah.
So, again, I start saying so. Anyway, 14.2% alcohol. So if you were hanging out before and we were tasting the Amplexus, about 12% for that. So a little bit heavier. And typically, when you're tasting whites and reds, whites are going to be a little bit lower, generally, in alcohol. Reds tend to be a little bit higher in alcohol, generally. Of course, there's always an option to do something else. 14%, somewhere between 13 and 15 is generally where I'm at for myself. You get much more than 15, it's a little harsh. And you start getting into 18s and stuff like that, and that's your fortified stuff. I'm looking off camera. I've got some port over there. Fantastic. It's yummy, but it's very sweet, and you only have about that much of it because it will warm your butt, warm your insides out. So we talked about what's in it, what it tastes like, and the alcohol, which is 14. This in a retail store. I also haven't looked because I'm actually part of their club as well. On their website, $45. So it's a little bit higher than what I normally spend for everyday stuff. And yes, I'll freely admit it. I do have a glass of wine every day. Red wine is supposed to be good for the heart. I don't really have a heart, but it's good anyway. I got that little bitty black Grinch heart. It's true. Or not. But I said, it's 2013, if I didn't mention that before. Did I mention that? I did. So 2013, 14.2%. Leoness Cellars from Temecula Valley. Really, really, really good stuff. This is a blend, mostly Cabernet, a little bit of Cabernet Sauvignon, that is. a little bit of Cabernet Franc, a little bit of Merlot, a little bit of Petit Bordeaux, and there you have it. What's this going to go good with? Steak. That was an easy
The
one.
vegetarian one.
A vegetarian steak?
Cheese.
Cheese? Actually, stronger cheese.
Yeah, I was gonna say sharp cheddar.
Sharp
White
cheddar.
cheddar.
White cheddar. If you did like grilled veggies, with a little bit of spice to it. What else? Good friends. It always goes well with that.
Absolutely.
Yummy! So I know that Zach and I like it. So from the non-red fan, scale of 1 to 10.
Probably 6.5, 7.
6.5, 7 for a non-red fan. Mr. Zach?
I really like it. It's not too strong. It doesn't. It's really smooth even after you swallow it. It doesn't leave an aftertaste in your mouth. I really like it. I say at the 8.5, 9. I really like it.
There you go. I'm a fan, of course, because like I said, I tasted it and bought it. And I'd give it, maybe it's just because it's early September. I don't know. I'd give it a good solid 8.5 to 9 anyway. I like it a lot, and it wouldn't necessarily. It's not one of those where sometimes you run across a wine where you have to have food with it. Otherwise, you're like, oh. And a lot of times when you have food with wine, it really steps it up. So, let's say an 8 wine by itself, you pair it with a steak or chicken or whatever it might be, and I was like, oh my God, that's amazing. So it's just raised that a little bit. I like this as it is, and now that it's September 3rd, International Cabernet Sauvignon Day. That's why we're doing it. Yeah, ghosts.
It's better than Cabernet Day.
Oh, sorry. I would actually, it's starting to cool off a little bit. Overnight it's getting around 60 degrees or so. I would actually hang out on the patio and just relax and have this. So I don't need to eat anything. It is not made nothing. Anyway, so there you have it. So that's volume 2. So here's to you, and you. You're empty. You want some more?
No, I'm good.
So here's to you.
I'm good.
Salute.
Eat last drop, right?
Yep.
Oh. I lied. I can't just walk away like that. So what I gotta tell you, I gotta finish it up. So as always, thank you. Well, thank you both. This is your first time here. Hopefully you're gonna come back, right?
Thank you for having us.
So Joey's Wine Rack, special guest, Gloria, Zach. But remember, when you're tasting wine, have a good time. Enjoy it. If you have to be out and you're, whether it's here in your home or at a winery somewhere or in California or Washington or Oregon or outside of the U.S., please, please, please do not overdo it. I cannot emphasize that enough. If you have a little bit much, okay, please make sure that somebody is driving for you who has not had too much. If you have a designated driver, even better. So that's always a concern when I do wine tastings at my house. I want to make sure that everybody's okay. And even though you can't see it now, when we do big wine tastings, we've got food, so we're eating and we spread it out over, a few hours sometimes. Because in the past we've tasted, 5 or 6 wines. And when you do that at a winery, you have very small amounts because they're not stupid. They don't want to get in trouble because you start serving somebody and overserve them, it's no bueno. But anyway, whatever you do, please be careful. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Peace.